Hello gorgeous makeup lovers and welcome back to my channel. If you don't know me, my name is Kerry and I love all things beauty and makeup related. If you can hear noises in the background, that is my little kitten Zuko. He's just having a little bite to eat whilst I'm trying to film, evidently. I am so excited to be testing out today the Nomad Cosmetics Verona palette. This is the Verona Amort. Look. That is the only time I'm going to try and pronounce that in this video because I've probably said it totally wrong. But I love Nomad Cosmetics with an absolute passion. They are one of my favourite indie brands, if not my absolute favourite indie brand of all time. I love their theming, their eyeshadows, the quality, the customer service, everything about them. So when they was releasing a new palette, I'm like, me please. So I bought this palette. It says it retails for $47 and obviously there's a little bit of shipping on top of that if you're getting it to the UK like me, but the inside of this, the story, the theming, I'm just, I need to shut up, roll the intro, and then we can get into it. Okay, so this is Nomad's Valentine's release, and what better release than a Romeo and Juliet story in Verona. So basically, Nomad Cosmetics are a small indie brand based in the US. They are fantastic. I love their eyeshadows. I do have videos before on their previous palettes if you want to check back on my channel. I should really start creating a playlist because I can't see myself not picking things up in the future also. They base their palettes on destinations that they have been to themselves. It's a lovely couple that run this brand and they have picked Verona this time, and each time they go to one of these destinations and base a palette on that destination, they give a percentage of their profits to a charity. And all of the palettes come with a little postcard that's like this. This is this postcard for this one, and on the back it has a little message from the owners, and it also says the destination made famous by the story of Romeo and Juliet, Verona, with its picturesque piazzas, charming cafes and immaculate architecture in the perfect setting for any love story. So it gives you a little bit of background behind it. It's a cute little touch. I keep all of these postcards. I really enjoy the fact that they do these with them because we are proud to support World Wildlife Fund that protects all animals, including lovebirds. So I love that they give back with every single release that they do. Little cute card. Obsessed. This packaging for this palette might be my absolute favourite that Nomad have ever done. Let me show you a close-up and the swatches and then we can discuss.
You're gone now, will you coming back? Yeah, I know that. Yeah, I know that. You're the traveling kind, it's a known fact. Yeah, I know that. Once you've seen all the things, all the places, I hope it means that you'll come home to me. Once you've traveled the world, all the spaces inside your heart, I hope I'll be your end destination. I hope I'll be your life-changing sensation.
I feel like everybody and their grandma has already got a video up on this palette on YouTube. So instead of me just doing a first impressions, I'm going to do a 2 or 3 look video. You will already know how many looks I'm going to be doing with this palette, just because then I can deep dive into the whole colour story. I can test as many shades as possible. You get a really good feeling for a palette if you can do more than just one look. So I thought that would be more helpful than me doing just a first impressions because, like I say, there's about 1 million on YouTube right now, but this packaging is stunning. I love the fact that it opens like 2 doors and then we have 2 mirrors. I love the fact that we have one side warm and love themed, the other side more death and sorrow themed. Absolutely stunning. The indentations in all the pans, just like with all of Nomad shadows, are absolutely amazing. They're all individual and related to the palette and the colour story. I'm excited to mix these 2 sides together. I might do one look with one side, one look with the other side, and then maybe a third and final look with both combined, but I think this is a genius release for Valentine's. Valentine's usually you're just getting pinks, reds, maybe a few little purple here and there. This is an amazing concept. This actually makes it a lot more exciting for Valentine's. It's not just another pink and red palette. This is Romeo and Juliet, man. I mean, come on. And the fact that you've got a black makes me very happy. It's more matte heavy Again, makes me very happy. You've got blues, purple, a mauve, a light grey. I love the tones that are included in this. As I'm talking to you now, I haven't currently swatched it. I probably will do after I've done my first look with this, but this is insanely beautiful, and Nomad have just smashed this concept. Like, I'm actually lost for words. It does say on the back of the palette it's got a 12-month shelf life and it's cruelty-free and vegan, and it's got the little bunny. So let's dive into the first look. Honestly, sometimes I just get so excited when one of these palettes arrives, especially when it's from Nomad, that I sit down to film and I'm like, I don't even know what I'm saying at this point. I don't know what information I've told you or how much it's been helpful to you, but I'm just so excited and I just want to play with it. I am priming with my Natasha Denona eyeshadow base. Everything that I'm using in this video will be linked in the description box. Some of those links are affiliated, so if you do shop through them, thank you so much for supporting me. I am actually in the middle of testing a new foundation, which is another video that I filmed just before this one. I know, who am I? Filming 2 videos back to back. Who do I think I am? Okay, my plan. Let me zoom you in first. I'm a terrible, terrible YouTuber. Okay, the plan, folks. I'm gonna go in with the pinky red side for the first look, but if I can't deepen it up to the extent that I want with the deeper red, I may go into a little bit of one of the deeper shades in the sorrow side. Never was there a tale of more woe than that of Juliet and her Romeo. So looking at this pink side, it's super cute, the indentations are amazing, and obviously I want to start out with the deeper red, and the deeper red is called Quill, and it's got a picture of a quill in it. So I'm going to grab Quill, and I'm going to literally just stamp it all in the crease. Just because I don't usually do that, I'm like, yay, let's pop the darkest shade in the outer corner, let's create some depth. Yeah, I usually do that, and there's nothing wrong with that, that makes me very happy. But today, I want to do something a little bit different. So I'm literally just going to run this all the way through the crease, and a little bit higher than my natural crease, because I do have slightly hooded eyes and we want to be able to see what's happening, but oh, look at the deliciousness of that red. A few people with this palette have said on the red and pink side that a lot of the shades look similar in the pan or on the eye, and as much as I think, you know, pinks and reds can look similar, I look at this palette and I don't see it. I can clearly see the different tones of pinks that are included in this and red. I don't know, I appreciate the variety in pink and red that is included in this palette. I know that's not going to be for everybody and not everyone's going to agree with me. That's absolutely fine. We don't have to agree, it's just makeup. And I'm going to run that one a little bit on the lower lash line, and then I'm just going to smoke it all out, make it all blendy blendy, and I think we're going to do a kind of halo eye, which I don't often do. Okay, with no extra product on my brush, I have just cleaned it off. I am just going to wiggle on the edges of this, and I'm probably going to go in with some of those pinks or something like that because they're all delicious. Oh, the quality of Nomad mattes, I cannot even explain to you. It boggles my mind, the quality of these mattes. Like, they just know what they're doing with eyeshadow. Okay, I'm aware we're looking a little bit crazy right now. That's absolutely fine. I generally do till the look's finished, so that doesn't bother me. I'm going to go into a little bit of the black on the opposite side, which is called Death, and it's this one here. Don't know why I'm showing you a black shadow, but I am. And I don't want a lot of this, I literally just want, wow, that's pigmented. Let me tap off my brush. And I just want a little bit in the inner and outer corners, just to deepen up those areas and go in with a light hand. I love a pigmented black that is just wham bam, here I am. And that one definitely is. Okay, we're still looking real crazy, but that's absolutely fine. I think next I want to go into the shade Light, which is this one here. And I am just going to start to tickle that around the edges of the red. And I'm glad I had one that I could pick my own undertone from. You see, this is why I'm glad that there's so many options included, because now I can make sure I pick one that it's not as pinky as the others. It's more on the corally side. And that is what I wanted. Let me work on the blend between these shades so I don't look as crazy. And then we'll come back and hopefully play with some shimmer. Okay, I sorted out the blending and I've cut my crease sort of in a halo type fashion. Do they match? Probably not, I'm gonna say. But I did go around the very, very edges when I was blending with the lightest pastel pink, which is called Paradise, which is this one here that I'm pointing to with my thumb. Okay, for shades, I feel like I want to use the shade Cupid, which looks insanely beautiful. It is this shimmer here, and I want to go in with that in the middle. I'm going to try and pick up on a Refer brush. This is a Refer 21, and we're going to go into Cupid. Now, I did struggle to pick this one up on a brush. Now, I know the owner did put out a statement saying that some of the shades are harder pressed in some of the palettes. There was a small batch that was affected, so I'm not sure if I'm affected yet. I'm just going to keep trying to work with this and hope. I mean, it's come off quite chunky because I had to really dig my brush in. Maybe I should use my finger. Yeah, using my finger's working a lot better, and that shade is stunning. And I just think Nomad are amazing for looking at the feedback that they've got, realising that there was a little issue with a few of the palettes in a certain batch, and actually putting out a statement and saying, you know what, if you've got this issue, let us know and we'll sort it out for you. Like, that is amazing customer service. That just goes to show that Nomad actually care about their products and their customers. It's like a pinky blue, purpley. It's stunning. Okay, then I'm going to flip my brush over and I'm going to go into the shade Comedy, which is this one here. Ah yes, Comedy picks up a lot easier. I'm just going to use that on the very edges of the shimmer that we had down, just to blend it into that deeper matte on the outside. But this is basically going to be how the look is. I might add a little bit of liner, especially around the top of the cut crease area. But let me jump off, finish the rest of this look with lashes, lip and all that jazz, and then I'll come back and show you how it looks. So we have the finished look. Let me tell you the extra things that I use, because I did go in with some liner. When I'm using pinks and reds especially, I feel like using black liner definitely brings the look a lot more together and makes you look a little bit less like you've got pink eye. Do you know what I mean? So I did go in with the black liner. Like I say, everything should be linked in the description box. I will try and remember everything. If there's anything that I've missed out or that you're wondering about, please ask me in the comments. I did also line the top of that cut crease just a little bit with, is this a Beauty Bay? I think it's Beauty Bay Fluorite, Living My Best Light. Yes, it is a Beauty Bay one. Just sort of like liquid eyeshadow. So I just got a tiny little brush and lined the top. And then I did stick on a lot of like sequin-y type things. I'll try and remember to link them. I'm not sure if I got those from Shein or Amazon. And the lip that I went in with is from Unearthly Cosmetics. It's their most recent mystery box for Valentine's Day. And it is in the shade Flirt, which is the first time I've used this one. I've used the other two that came in the mystery box, both of the neutral tones, and they are beautiful. This one, I'm sorry, I love this shade. This is a standout shade, especially for Valentine's. So here we have the finished look number one. I will say the mattes performed exactly as I was expecting them to. They are absolutely stunning, just as good as the normal quality from Nomad Cosmetics. And like I said, I did pop into a little bit of that black, which was super pigmented, and I'm very happy with that. I will dip into the other side the next time, and then maybe for the third look, both of them together. But I will say this shade, which is called Cupid, it did feel a little on the more hard pressed side. I'm going to see how I go with this, use it a few more times, and if I feel like this one is particularly hard pressed and some of the other shades, I think the other one could have been Romeo, then I might contact the owner. But so far, I mean, I got it to work. It's on the eye, it's stunning, and it's such a shame that, you know, the hard pressing affected such a small batch of palettes, but they have been super transparent about it and really helpful actually, so you can't knock the brand for that. I'm really pleased with this first look. Let me jump off and take some pictures, and then you'll see me either tomorrow or the next day for look number two. Okay, so I'm thinking for this look, I definitely want to stick to the more deeper side, the sort of sorrow, the death side of this palette, because this colour story is absolutely delicious. And then for the third look, I think we'll combine both sides together. a lot more because I know I did dip into the black in my previous look. This one looks like a duochrome and it looks insane. It looks like it goes from a purple to a sort of greeny shade, so we might need to use this. It's going to be sort of more of a dramatic look this time because it's on the deeper side. Okay, so I'm thinking I want to start out with the shade. Okay, I had a plan a second ago, now I'm rethinking. I think I want to start out with the shade Dark, which is this one here. And let me just sort out my creasy eye primer. And we'll pop this dark shade just on the outer corner at first and a little bit into the crease area. I'm not being super precise. It's a Monday morning that I'm filming this and I'm actually really sleepy still, but I really wanted to play with this palette again, especially this side because it is beautiful. I might just take another brush actually and just kind of wing it out a little bit at the very edges. Well, where else would you wing it out, Kerry? Do you know when it's just one of those days? Nomad's mattes just pack on a dream. They are so pigmented, which is exactly what I love in eyeshadow. Like straight away, bam, there is your pigment. Never had an issue with any Nomad mattes. They're just superior. And then I'm just going to wiggle on the edges of this deep purple before we go in. I think I'm going to go in with the lighter purple. There is a slightly lighter purple in this side of the palette. This would look beautiful as well, going from the purple into the pinks on the other side. Okay, so then I'm going to go in with the shade Dagger, which is this one here. And I'm just going to press it over the edge of that purple first and then work on blending this out. Those two shades are absolutely stunning together. Love those so much. And I think now I'm side-eyeing the blue shimmer in the palette because I'm like, you'd look real nice with those purples. I think I just want to take a smidgen of the black again, which is called Death, and just put the tiniest little bit just on the very outer corner to maximise the depth out there because I do love that. I think on the lower lash line I might go into the greys. I might start out with Inferno, which is this one here, and then go into the lighter grey, and I might incorporate a little bit of the purples, the purple mattes that we used on top as well. So I'm going to put Tomb, which is the lightest grey, just on the inner part of the lower lash line. And then go into Inferno, which was the deeper grey. And then into Dark, which was the deeper purple, just to lead into what's happening above. Now I do think any of the shimmers on this side of the palette would look amazing with this look, and we have 3 to choose from on this side. I mean, the shimmers from the other side of the palette would also work as well, but I'm thinking I might use, should I use all 3? We'll see how we go, but I definitely want to use this one here because it is a duochrome. And I am going to pick it up on my finger and I'm just going to plop it in the middle to the outer part of the lid. Oh, that's delicious. So foily and reflective. Very, very moody. Then I'm going to go into the blue, which is called Juliet. Oh, that's like a blue and it's got like a purpley pinky tone to it as well. And I'm just popping that near the front of this look, I was going to say, but my eye. I've popped on a brush and I have sprayed it just because I want to be a little bit more precise with this shade now. And I want it leading into that purple shimmer. And I'm going to go into the last shimmer, which is this one here. I'm not sure if this is the right decision or not, but hey, we're here, we're going to see. And just pop this at the front of the eye, leading into the blue. This one seems to be a little bit more of a toppery shade. Maybe it's just the brush I'm using, but that is super pretty. Okay, this is more or less going to be the look. Let me jump off, finish this up, and then I'll come back and show you what it looks like. So we have a finished look number 2, and I love this one. These are the colours that make me so happy. It just feels so delicious, and the tones in this, perfection. The lashes I went in with were from my Pound Lashes, I think it's a limited edition Christmas lash book, and I used the style Frosty. They do have some nice lash books on Pound Lashes, and I do have an affiliated code if you want to use that to save some more pennies. These are so affordable, these lashes, guys. They will be linked down below. If I can't get these specific pair, I will just link Pound Lashes in general. Check them out, they are so affordable, such good lashes. I did stick on a few little gems and a little star and a little bit of liner. I went in my waterline also with the Beauty Bay shadow stick. Which one is this? This is Jungle Book. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to link this. These were limited edition. I'm not sure if they're still around, but I absolutely love these for the waterline, and this one fits in perfectly with this look. The lip was the Unearthly Cosmetics liquid lipstick in Flirt, and I think that's it. Is that everything else that I used? I feel like it is. I love how this one came together. I hope you've got in your mind whether you prefer the first look, this one, or the one that's coming, because I will be asking you to leave a comment about that at the end. So far, I can't decide out of 1 and 2. I'm going to wait and see what look number 3 looks like before I give my final verdict, but I love this look. I'm so pleased that I get to wear this for the rest of the day. These tones make me so happy. I am a lover of green eyeshadow, but purples do things to me. So let's dive in to the third and final look. So we're on to look number 3, and I'm feeling like I definitely want to incorporate both sides of this palette, because mixing them together is the whole fun of this, and these tones together will be beautiful. I don't know whether I'm going to go into, what have I already used? I've used the greys. Maybe I'll go into the deep plum down here again, and then into some of the pinks and reds, maybe a bit of black. So I think I'm going to start out with the shade Dark again. Let me show you this way so it's easier. This one here. And I'm going to focus that on the outer corner area, but I'm excited to mix this with some reds and pinks in this look. But I may even go in with a little bit of black just to deepen it up even more. Okay, that is looking super nice. I'm going to go into a little bit of this pigmented black just for the very outer corner, just to add that extra little bit of drama and depth. Then I'm just going to go back into the dagger shade that we used last time, just to blend on the very edges of that. And make sure it's a nice blend on this outer edge. Smoked out a little bit. Then I think I'm going to go into this one, which is called Rose, and then toward the inner corner I definitely want to go into Paradise. I did use Paradise for my blush today. Beautiful. So going into Rose first, I'm just continuing that just above the crease area, because we need some bright pink, obviously. Then going into Paradise, which is the light pastel pink, and I'm just going to tickle that over the edges to blend out that bright pink. And then I think I'm going to more or less pack it in the inner corner. Okay, we are very pink and purple now, and I am loving it. The depth of the outer corner with that bright pink. And I'm going to use the same shades just to sort of mimic on the lower lash line what's happening above. Okay, time to go with some shimmers, and I really want to use the shade Romeo. It looks insanely beautiful. I might just go in with my finger, to be honest, because when I've just put my finger into this, it does feel a little hardly pressed. I may have one of the palettes that was harder pressed, which is a shame, but I'm sure if I reach out to Nomad, they have the best customer service I have come across. they will be more than happy to help me. That is stunning, and it's got kind of a bluey tone to that. Wow. Then I'm going to go back into Cupid. So which one did I just use? This one is Romeo, and I'm going to go back into Cupid for the inner corner, I think. Just going to pop that in the inner corner. Yeah, I definitely think I've got a hard pressed palette because these are so difficult to pick up on a brush and even on your finger a little bit. So that is not the normal Nomad quality, so I can see why they have said they've come a little bit harder pressed, and they'll be happy to rectify that because this is not what I'm used to from Nomad. Okay, this one was more of a simple look. Let me finish it up and I'll show you the final and third look, and then we can discuss this beautiful palette. So guys, finished look number 3, and I did use the House of Blue lashes in the style Alice. They're just very fluttery and flirty, and I thought it would go nicely with this look. I did also dive into my Arttitude Cosmetics Split It Painter's Paradise palette, which was kindly gifted to me by the brand, and I did use the white to hand draw the love heart. That wasn't easy. And then I did stick on a little sequin either side of the love heart just to add a little extra touch. You know, you don't have to do any of that if you're doing a Valentine's look. You can keep it super neutral if you want to, whatever makes you happy. But I'm super pleased with this look, and now I'm trying to decide which of the 3 is my favourite. Please do let me know down below which is your favourite, because I'd be really interested to know. I think I'm going to go with look number 1. So let's talk about this absolutely gorgeous palette. Nomad have absolutely smashed it. I haven't been this excited for a Valentine's release, well, ever. The concept, I think that's what does it. The packaging, the concept that it's Romeo and Juliet, that it's, you know, in Verona, and the fact that you get the 2 halves of the palette. It's not just your typical pink and red palette. You do get so many other options with this. I like the way that it opens like this. I like the fact you get 2 mirrors. I just love everything about this palette, and from the shades that I've tested, I mean, how many shades have I actually tested? I mean, I've used the majority of the palette, obviously not every single shade. I will endeavour to use every single shade. This is probably the palette I'm going to be digging out for Valentine's Day, when hopefully my husband's going to be taking me out for cocktails. I'm going to hold it like this because it's easier, but I think for the price it is absolutely spectacular what you are getting. Value for money, always with Nomad. Their mattes are like no other. Their matte formula is one of my absolute favourites. It's buildable, pigmented, blendable, and absolutely delicious. As you see in the pan, that is how it goes on the eye, especially if you start with your deepest shade. But like I say, they are very buildable as well. I love this concept, love the colour story, absolutely beautiful. I will say, the 2 shimmers that were more difficult to pick up were Cupid and Romeo. I'm not sure if this one was actually difficult to pick up or whether it's just supposed to be a toppery shade. But I think once you get them on, the shimmers are absolutely spectacular. Like I say, I don't know if I'm one of the unfortunate ones that got the bad batch just from the manufacturing process, which is a shame because it's okay, it survived. There's no casualties. So I hope this video was helpful to you. If you wanted some makeup looks for Valentine's Day, some inspiration, or whether you was considering buying this palette. Obviously, if you've got colours like this in your collection and you don't need to pick this up, shop your stash. But if you was coming here to find out if this palette was good and beautiful, I think we discovered that it is. And I always do keep the unicartons when it comes to Nomad, the majority of the time, because they're absolutely stunning. The artwork, the thought that goes into everything, I'm sorry, it's just beautiful. So guys, let me know what you think to this palette, this concept, Nomad Cosmetics as a brand, what you think to my 3 looks, and which one is your favourite. I am going to be doing a multiple looks video with the new Beauty Bay palette. My first impressions on that are already up. I will try and remember to link it somewhere, but I am going to deep dive into that palette and do maybe 3 looks with that one. So that might be a little while of filming and editing for me, but that one is coming. So if that's something of interest to you, please don't forget to subscribe before you leave. Thank you so much for watching to the end of the video, guys, and hopefully I'll see you in my next one. Bye!